Hello everyone, 2D here and welcome back to Games in the Ring. This week, I went back to the past. So one day I was walking down the street, listening to music, minding my own business, but then I suddenly opened my eyes, because yes, I walk with my eyes closed, and I realized that my PS2 games are in my parents' garage. So I texted my dad, I was like, I'm coming, I'm getting all the games, I want to revisit them, and tell me where they are. Cut to me 5 minutes later on the other side of the city to my parents' house, and the games were right there in the garage, waiting for me, looking at me like it hasn't even been 15 years since I last touched them. Anyways, I have them here today and I want to pick them out randomly and say something and react to all of them. I know there's gonna be some very embarrassing titles here. I apologize in advance to the gaming community, but this is just who I am and my two brothers, so if you're watching this, you're also guilty. I think I already picked one of the best ones, so from here on, it's gonna get worse and worse, but where do I even start with this game? Everyone remembers playing this game. I think parents didn't realize that this game is not for children, but I think most of the people playing this game were children, me included. I think the copyright vultures are onto me. There's not much to say about this game. GTA San Andreas will forever stay in my heart. I got a lot of inspiration from it. Now I know how to behave in real life thanks to this game. And that's all I'm gonna say. Let's see what's next. This one was something. It's Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. It's inspired by the final movie of the trilogy, and this game was incredible. I remember me and my brother fighting through every level. I was always Legolas, he was always using Aragorn, and I remember you could power up arrows, you could power up your gear, you could power up your powers. It was incredible. There was so many good levels. You can use Gandalf, you can use Aragorn, you can use Gimli, you can use Legolas, and then there are those very boring levels where you can use Sam and Frodo. We're not gonna talk about those, but this game had everything. It was scary, it was full of action, it was full of variety. Of course, the graphics are outdated, but we're not gonna mention graphics today because these are all PS2 games. I will never forget unlocking those double mithril arrows for Legolas. They were purple, they were strong. That was my life achievement back then, and I still stand by it. Next we have... Now it's only gonna get worse, because the reality is that there is 30 songs on this and I only know 3, and I only sang What You Waiting For by Gwen Stefani. I know, like a real rock star. There is Deep Purple Smoke on the Water, there's the Scorpions' Wind of Change, we have the Rolling Stones, we have Queen's Don't Stop Me Now, we have Nirvana's Come As You Are. I mean, do I really have to say anything else? Anyways, let's go to the next one. Oh, no. This one you need to be psychologically prepared for because it's really bad, and this was really expensive. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Not only was it really bad, but it was also very long. Surprisingly, all of these games are so lazy. I don't know what happened to this. As I said last week, I really hope Hogwarts Legacy brings something that we deserve for this franchise. Such a waste of money and material and resources and effort and professionals and employees and developers. And did I say money already? There's Warner Bros. And EA behind it, and there was so many games that looked much better than this one. Everything was so poorly structured, so basic, so linear. There's one sequence when Fred and George decide that school is not for them and they want to leave, and you get to fly on brooms and cast some spells to make the fireworks explode all around the school. But then you realize that there's no freedom in this sequence and you're just randomly pushing a little bit the broom left and right and casting random spells. Ooh, you will play as Sirius and Dumbledore. Now that I think about it, that's quite true, because except for Harry, that's actually the only people you're playing as for like 5 minutes in the end. Sirius and Dumbledore. What's next? Don't care, haven't played it ever, only my brother used to play this. I don't care about FIFA, bye bye. Anyways, let's go to the next one. Spider-Man for the PlayStation 2. Is this considered a good game? Because I remember having such a good time with this one. I love the combos, I love the level designs, I love the enemies. This one was pretty solid. There was a lot of bosses. All around it was a good experience. You could stealth on enemies because you could climb on the roof, of course, and then jump on them. Every level had its unique elements. There was one where a building was collapsing because it was on fire. There was one in the tunnels and in the metro system. You cannot go to the ground with this one. You cannot walk the streets. There's a lot of things you cannot do, but of course the PS2 didn't have the power to do so, or they didn't care about the city interactions. I really want to know, if you don't like it, why you don't like it, and if you like it, why you like it. Another game I absolutely don't care about, even though we used to play a lot. The disc just came out without me even touching the box, so nice. Tennis game, wow, interesting, amazing, bye bye. This one I loved. I don't know how it came to be so good, but this was amazing. The Incredibles was an amazing movie, we all know about it. I don't know if you love it, but I do. I love every part of it, especially Pombleture, Mr. Incroyable. This game had everything, so many different gameplay approaches and mechanics. You could play all the members in the family. Violet had like, she could become invisible, but just for a certain time. There are 2 levels where you use dash. One is in the middle of the jungle and you run on water. One is in the middle of the streets and you run through cars. It's so good. And then, of course, the Mr. Incredible ones are more based on brutal force, so you fight enemies with different combos. Same for Elastigirl. And then there's one level where you play both as Violet and Dash, and she put both of them in a sphere of energy, and you have to run around the whole level like that. If you've never played this game and you have the chance to do so, go back to it. I mean, maybe I remember it better than it used to be. I might replay them if I get my hands on a PS2, because my brother decided to fix ours because the video output wasn't working, and he decided to dissect the whole console, and then he never built it back. But that's another story. Next we have another SingStar. This time we have legends: David Bowie, Life on Mars; Elton John, Rocketman; Madonna, Papa Don't Preach, which was my jam; U2, Vertigo; Tina Turner's What's Love Got to Do With It. A lot of good songs. Do I need to say something else? It's like SingStar rocks, but this one has a different catalog. A lot of interesting moments were created in the past. Next one I pulled out is this one. Until yesterday I thought I had GTA Liberty City, but now I see this is the spin-off, Liberty City Stories. I honestly don't remember anything about it. I think I was focusing a lot on San Andreas. My brother got this for his birthday. I don't know, a friend got it for him. Of course, we only played games rated R, so 18+. It's actually bothering me that so many of these are platinum, which means the cover art has this ugly frame, which I don't like. This one, I might pretend that I didn't even see. I know. First of all, I'm sorry again for the gaming community. Second of all, this was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Not only do I know all the songs, but what's more important is how bad looking this game was. They didn't put any effort in making it look good. But I mean, it's a singing game. It doesn't need good graphics. You might have seen a very famous clip from PewDiePie.
You were always there beside me. That I'm
Like, you had one job, game. You had one job. And to make things better, another Harry Potter, this time the Goblet of Fire. I think there's so many memes about this game for how poorly it was made. This will remain in my heart forever. I have so many memories with this game. I think I replayed this game at least 15 times. At least. Now we have subscriptions, we can access a lot of games, but back then we really used to enjoy one game, even if it was really bad, because once you buy it, you can only play it or not play it, and you cannot buy a game every day. I think I had all the achievements on this game, but it was so bad. Everything about it. The graphics, the voices, the other characters and how they behaved, especially Ron Weasley, we all remember him. The tragic linearity. The first trial of the tournament where you had to fly and escape from the dragon, you just had to go a little bit left, a little bit right. There was no freedom in this game, no options to do something different, no replayability value. I replayed it anyways. I'm still like in love with the books and the movies. The spells were quite interesting in this one, way more creative than in the next one, but the problem is that you pretty much cast all of them in the same way. You just spam X over and over and over. By the way, there is like a EA catalog inside and you can see all the games that were released back then in 2006. Batman Begins, there is The Sims 2, From Russia with Love, Marvel Nemesis, Medal of Honor, European Assault, The Godfather, Need for Speed Most Wanted. Another game I absolutely don't care about. I don't follow football, I'm really sorry. That's just how it is. I don't know how many people play PES, how many people play FIFA. I think FIFA is more popular and also more expensive. This is the first game we got when we bought the console. I was so happy about finally having a console because I didn't own the PlayStation 1. I only had a Game Boy, and this was such a change for me, using a joystick and having something completely different. Of course, I played the other consoles, but I never owned them, and actually owning one was incredible. And I think the PlayStation 2 in general is in a lot of people's hearts because of how messy but amazing it was at the same time. How many times you had to pray that the memory card wouldn't corrupt or just break for no reason. This is back when I kinda watched sometimes Formula 1 just because my dad and my older brother used to. This one, can we agree this is a good game? Like, I know a lot of people have a lot to say about many Tomb Raider games. I only remember good things about this game. There was the Croft residency where you could explore and find Easter eggs and you can complete a big puzzle which unlocked the final prize. There was a really good balance between going through the levels and also enjoying this extra experience, let's say. You could find a couple different outfits. There wasn't really a lot of them, but it's interesting to see that they implemented that. Lara Croft will always be Lara Croft. She's fierce, she's fearless, she's clever, and she's strong. And she knows how to use those legendary double guns. I remember never getting bored with this game. Every level was set in a different country. You had to go through to Bolivia, to Peru, to Japan. There was some sequence with the motorbike and you had to go on the bike and shoot at enemies at the same time. And let's be honest, I like the trilogy this one belongs to. Especially I like Underworld, which is the last one, but I have that one for Xbox 360. Even though this game haven't aged well in terms of graphics, I think they are still interesting to play, all three of them. This is an interesting one. We all know Call of Duty World at War. It's called Final Fronts. It doesn't have the legendary multiplayer. This one focuses on the campaign. You don't have zombies, you don't have the multiplayer. I don't know if this was cheaper back then or something, but I honestly don't know why me and my brothers had this one, because we loved Call of Duty, but we loved it mostly for the multiplayer. Anyways, that's Call of Duty World at War Final Fronts. To close things off, another SingStar. This time we have SingStar ABBA. Not much to say about this one. ABBA is my favorite band probably ever. I forced my parents, my relatives, anyone who came to our house to play this with me because it was just so good. Anyways, that's all the games I had. I actually didn't know I was gonna discover so many things that I didn't remember. It's been 13 years since I last touched a PS2. After 2007, I just switched to the Xbox 360. And I kind of forgot about these games, especially because the PS2, like many units, stopped working, so I didn't really have a chance to play these games anymore. And that's pretty much it. I hope this was interesting to you. I am 2D. This is Games in the Ring. Bye bye, see you next time.